When the lights are out, my heart is your home. When the stars are crashing, your heart is my own. And it goes on and on and on. Love goes on and on and on. Oh yeah, oh my darling, would you take me away? Take me when the lights are out, my heart is your home. When the stars are crashing, your heart is my own. And it goes on and on and on. Love goes on and on and on. Oh yeah, oh my darling, would you take me away? Take me made a mistake last night. Maybe I can make it right. Slide on closer, baby. We can talk about it. No need to be mad. Hate to see you sad. Yes, I know I'm crazy, crazy about your love. I know I'm a flirt sometimes. I know I get drunk some nights. I know I get way too high. I just wanna live it up with you. I know that it might be tough. I know when you've had enough. It's just how I show my love. Darling, can I live it up with you?
It is that time again, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the Dons to show up. What's up, guys? It's Jaggy here. And, okay, so my thoughts going into this one, I'm very excited. I already expressed my my sentiment in chat about how excited I am for this match. Let me fix my my camera real quick. But why am I excited for this match? Well, first of all, it's Rotherham United, former championship side, and even though it's going to be a tough task and I may be disappointed in the end, it's a good team, and I feel like this, especially with both teams playing three in the back, I feel like this game is going to be open ended, and I wouldn't be surprised honestly if I were to see 3+ goals. Hopefully that'll favor us in the end, but I'm going to get into my prediction. But taking a look at the lineups here, for the first time this season, we're using a 3 in the back. And generally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of a 3 in the back. But considering that lately we haven't really created too many chances. And I feel like we've been kind of engaging in empty possession at times. I mentioned how we did engage in empty possession last time against Shrewsbury when we were down 2-1. I feel like this will allow us to be a little bit more attacking oriented and a bit more direct, but at the same time have more numbers forward when we do play direct. I feel like last time against Shrewsbury when we did we were a little bit too predictable when we were playing the overlaps a lot of the times, and we would always play it to our outside mids, but when we played direct in that game against Shrewsbury, it was just Presley up there, and we didn't really have too much support. And I feel like playing this 3-4-3 with two wingers aside from beside Presley instead of two attacking mids or two outside mids rather, I think Presley would have a little bit more support. And Presley was quoted as saying that he does like to play physical, and he's going to be, continue to work on his game and continue to improve every game. And I know I gave Presley some slack in the past, but I truly feel like Presley, this is his time to shine. This is his game in which he could show what he's truly capable of here. And he will have more support with Chislett and Rodoni out wide. Of course, Ayuba Sal not in the lineup today because of the suspension that he suffered from the yellow card. From Descent, of course, he's a young player, very, he's inexperienced. He'll learn. It's growing pains for him. He'll learn in regards to the emotional side of things. But Ethan Chislett actually has a left wing. I find that very interesting, but I don't think that's too far-fetched because against Plymouth, I believe it was, he found himself out wide a lot, actually, playing the overlap to Henry Lawrence and every now and again taking someone on 1v1. And speaking of 1v1s, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of them today with Chislett and Rodoni finally coming back from injury. I'm really excited to see that. And I feel like without Rodoni, we really lacked that player that could take someone on 1v1, that could, be a threat in that regard. In case, passing it around won't work, in case playing it direct sometimes won't work if the other team wins headers. By the way, Rotherham are very good in the air, so that's something that, I think that's maybe a reason why we're playing 3-4-3. We're playing 3 out wide. We're not going to play direct as often today. But in case we do play direct, we'll have that support for Presley. But I feel like we're going to be playing it a lot among our midfield and maybe play it out wide and have some of those 1v1 opportunities with Rodoni and Chislett out wide. And then, of course, Osu here with his first start today over who would play out wide generally. McCormick could play out wide at times. But he's going to be playing out wide today, I think mainly for pace and every now and again to drop back defensively, because Paul Osu is an outside back, at heart. So he could drop back deep sometimes and have kind of a 4 in the back at times. But Henry Lawrence outside. And then George Marsh today instead of Anthony Hartigan. I like that for this particular fixture because, like I said, Rotherham are very good in the air, so I feel like we don't really have to prioritize, the set pieces too much this time around. I think George Marsh is very good in terms of quality on the ball. Anthony Hartigan, too, can play a crisp pass when necessary, but I think George Marsh is a little bit more versatile than Anthony Hartigan. So, honestly, I like this. I'm not a huge fan of the 3 in the back, generally speaking, but I like it for this particular game, and I think we can match up pretty well against Rotherham. So you got Michael Smith, obviously, been playing for Rotherham for a good, I think this is his 5th season now with Rotherham. 5 goals in the season so far. Very tall. I think he's like 6'3" or something, but he's very athletic for his height, so he's going to be very dangerous. And then Grigg doesn't have any goals for Rotherham so far, but he's going to be looking for that first goal of the season today against Wimbledon. What I noticed too is that Ben Wiles, who is one of Rotherham's own, young talent from Rotherham, not playing today, even though he has 3 goals on the season so far. 2 of them coming against it wasn't Crewe, it was Bolton, yeah, and he had a really good goal where he I think it was a header clearance, and then he took a touch to his left foot and then blasted it. He just needed one touch to blast it into the top corner, or one touch before blasting it to the top corner. But yeah, the leading goal scorer obviously is going to be Michael Smith here. He's going to be a player to watch out for. Ogbene and Rathbone on the outside mids. Rathbone, I remember he did play for Rochdale. Obviously, Rochdale got demoted to League 2, but he's going to be a dangerous player as well. He's not really that much of a pacey individual, so I don't think he's going to be running down the wings as often. I think Rotherham are going to be focusing more on Ferguson and Lindsley to maybe play in Smith or Grigg, but you could see maybe Ogbene running down the wing at times and trying to play a good ball in, but I don't really know what to expect with Rotherham today, actually. I mean, they only have 11 goals in the season. They conceded 9 despite playing 3-1-4-2, which is a very open-ended formation. I don't really know what to expect here in terms of how Rotherham are going to play, but in terms of what I think the final result's going to be, I could definitely see this being a 3+ goal thriller. I'm going to say in the end it's going to be 2-2. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. I think AFC Wimbledon will finally just kind of put their foot down here, and they're just going to take it in stride and create some chances this time around with this 3-4-3. And Daniel Chaka playing as a center back too, I forgot to mention. I thought that maybe Nightingale or Hennigan could have had a bit of a break. Maybe play a 4 in the back and have Chaka play for one of them to give them a break, because they've been playing a lot and they've been working really hard, playing time in and time out. But Daniel Chaka alongside those two and the 3 in the back. So we'll see how that goes. The game is about to kick off here. And we'll get going. Rotherham to kick off. Just going to set up the timer real quick and we'll be on our merry way. Rotherham already give it away here, though, with Woodyard getting it over. Chaka already up there and plays it outside to Osu. Osu tries to get across and blocked right away. It's corner kick already 20 seconds into the game. Paul Osu, first touch, will be across. And already Paul Osu making a stamp on this game. So this time it's going to be Henry Lawrence. I was wondering who's going to be taking the corner kicks and the set piece. It's going to be Henry Lawrence over Anthony Hartigan. Obviously, Hartigan's not going to be starting today. So we'll see how that turns out. Plays a decent floater into the back post, headed away. Woodyard is going to be collecting it. Henry Lawrence actually sprints over to collect it himself. Jack Rodoni gives it away at the top of the box after his first touch was poor. But then Alex Woodyard tries to get a blaster from like 28 yards out, completely shanks it, as it's going to be out for a goal kick here. Good early start here, as I will set up the audio really fast. Last time I actually had the commentary partially in the background. I don't know if that was too jarring, but I think that'll be good just in case I want the commentators to say something every now and again, and I'll just let them do the work. So we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, it's going to be thrown here for Rotherham about 21 yards out from the right side. When I say 21 yards out, I mean like, the distance comparatively speaking to the goal. Going vertically from goal to goal. So nothing comes of that, as the pass back attempt from the throw-in, whoever was receiving that throw-in just completely shanked the pass. So we're also lucky not to come up against Joe Maddock, quality left back. Okay, a good point there. So we'll see if we can exploit that. Who's starting as left back? It's going to be... Oh, well, I mean, they usually start with a 3 in the back, so we'll see if we can exploit that. Yeah, Ogbene was able to shrug off Chislett there. Chislett not really one of the most physically imposing players, so we'll see how he does if he matches up against Ogbene, who's the outside mid today for Rotherham.
I'm very well indeed, Michael. Good evening, everyone out there in internet audio land. Good to know we're getting out around the world. I know that David is entitled. It's currently 1:45 a.m. kickoff.
Just head her back to the goalkeeper here. I'm trying to pull up the lineup so I'm not too confused on who's who. Okay, I do have the lineups pulled up here for Rotherham. Nightingale clears it away after a long kick from the goalkeeper. Midfield battle here, kind of a deflection from both sides. George Marsh comes sprinting in to get the clearance off ahead of Jamie Lindsley, who tried to get his foot on and ended up barreling right into Marsh. So good work there from Marsh. Good effort off the ball.
Yes, indeed, which of course, after some periods, but will mean partly that we won't play again until Sheffield Wednesday, a fortnight later.
And Crew Alexandra on the board already here against, excuse me, Plymouth Argyle. Is that the only game that's going on right? No, actually there are plenty of others going on at the moment. It is a full match day here. Or not a full match day, only, I know, yeah, it's a full match day. 12 matches going on, every team playing today, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens going around the league here.
It's very interesting how we've shaken things up a little bit here this evening as well. The likes of Dan Choker, Paul Ossu, George Marsh, Henry Lawrence, given an opportunity again from the start here this evening. Wimbledon looking to get back on the right footing in terms of where they are in Sky Bet League One.
Yeah, so another thing about Osu, yeah, I'm interested that Mabude's not starting today, but he usually plays as a winger more so than an outside mid. And like I said, with the three in the back, every now and again we kind of need that help going back. So I think Paul Osu would be kind of a... He'll be a good threat, I think, both offensively and defensively. He's a very versatile individual. He can get up every now and again on the offensive end. Not really known for his finishing. He's just more so a player that could just find himself in a good area and just poach one home. Or, you know, use his pace to get up forward and play that final ball. So we'll see how Osu can shake things up. Rotherham just knocking around 1-2 touch passing here, but then they reset it all the way to their center back. Rodoni on the pressure. That's something that Rodoni can bring to the table, is that off-the-ball pressure. I mean, he... Not only is he good with off-the-ball pressure, but he's very... What's the word for it? You know, his endurance is very good. He can last a full 90 minutes while going at pretty much, maybe not the same pace, but for the most part, you know, keeps a similar pace in terms of the off-the-ball pressure, in terms of his off-the-ball runs. And I think he's going to bring that dynamic to the table.
Ruminations, once again, very much to the fore, and always a pleasure to have him with us. Shoots from the hip, and doesn't care who knows it. Throw into Rotherham now from their right-hand side. Midway inside their own half. Coming up for 6 minutes gone then.
Yeah, so Crew Plymouth 1-0 here. I think that's going to bring Crew up to 20th. And Plymouth... Yeah, Plymouth from 3rd to 4th. MK Dons holding that 3rd position anyway. Ball played to Ogbene on the right-hand side. He's going to try to play across low and hard. I think he tried to get it over, but he kind of shanked across a little bit straight to the feet of Choka, who was able to get the clearance. But yeah, it was a nice 1-2 played by Rotherham, played around Paul Ostu there. Now it's going to be a throw in here for Rotherham. I have a friend, actually, high school friend from high school who's a Rotherham fan. I'm like, okay. I'll get into that in a second. Rotherham are knocking about here. Lindsay is going to play it all the way back to Edmonds Green. Down to the right-hand side to Ogbene, defended by Osu. Ogbene easily gets around Osu, actually. But now Woodyard is there to help. Nicely done. Nicely done by Alex Woodyard. Rotherham fans are incensed that was a foul, but I think Ogbene kind of went down a little easy as Woodyard came in. That's one thing about Woodyard. He's been working his ass off game in and game out. And I saw a tweet last time out from one of the fans. I didn't actually highlight it on my post-match reaction video, but, you know, Alex Woodyard is you know, he's probably overworking himself, constantly getting up and down the pitch. We need a center back to cut off the play. Perhaps George Marsh could be that. So we'll see if George Marsh is going to be on the defensive end as well to help Woodyard out. As Hardigan is more so, you know, a midfielder that could play a good ball, but he's not necessarily one to... a plus played into Presley, but that was good defending there by Wood to pick it off. It was Henry Lawrence that made a run on the outside. Oof. And they were trying to play it forward. They were trying to advance the play, but tactical foul there by Jack Rodoni as he was sprinting and tried to, you know, slide. Kind of could have been a yellow, actually, but the referee let him off easy. Yeah, Rodoni came charging in with a slide tackle there. Mistimed. It wasn't rash, but still, considering that, you know, he came in with that blistering speed and could have been deemed a yellow, but got away with that one. And I think, you know, not having a Sal on the pitch, we could be missing out on a player that could, you know, sprint back defensively and try to help. Rodoni is that player too, if necessary. So I don't think we're going to have too much of an issue there. Also, Rodoni and Chislett switching sides. Now Rodoni is going to be starting on that left attacking or left wing position. When I had it on Google, when I was showing you guys, it was Chislett on the left, but we'll see how that. Nice header won by Hennigan on that long free kick there. Cleared away. I am American. You know, he's being respectful. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yes, I am American. I am a Californian that supports AFC Wimbledon. I've supported them since 2019. Long story short, played FIFA career mode or FIFA 16. Yeah, that was the latest FIFA that I had in 2019. But you know, I started following them, and then I found out about their story. They started from the ground up, and I truly loved it. So since then, I, you know, became a supporter. I do have a video on my channel, the very first one I uploaded on this one. I used to upload on another channel, like live reactions and whatnot, but my first video is just talking about how I became an AFC Wimbledon supporter. But my friend from high school actually is a Rotherham. He's American, obviously, but he's a Rotherham fan. I don't remember why he started supporting them, but you know, at the time I thought it was weird. Like, why are you supporting a team from like League One, League Two? But now I understand. I've seen the light now. You know, League One, League Two football sometimes can be more passionate than the Premier League. You know, the big teams sometimes can be seen as too much of a corporate fan base rather than, I don't know. I'm digressing here. I'm trying to like focus on the game at the same time. Oof, knocked it down here by number 9 Grigg, and now Smith is trying to make a run forward here, or it was Lindsley trying to make a run on the ball there, but plays it back to the center. Ferguson and Lindsley combining with one another. Lindsley gets a cross into the box intended for Smith, but headed away there by Choka as he won the header. Yeah, the top of the box, and then it looked to me like it was George Marsh that ate a high boot after that initial header won by Daniel Choka. Nicely done from him to get up and over Smith. Yeah, it was an in-swinging cross there coming in from Lindsley, and at first I thought, oh shit, it's going to Smith. He's going to try to nod one into the near post, but I think Daniel Choka coming in, his first start of the season for AFC Wimbledon, I think he can provide, actually I don't know if it's first or second start, but he can provide that aerial threat, mainly on the defensive side, more so than the offensive side, but I think that's something we missed every now and again. Oh, it's a good ball played over here now from Rotherham. It's going to be Grigg here, defended by Nightingale. Back to the center. Smith going to hold it up, and Rodoni coming back from the outside mid position to cut it off. Poor clearance there from Henry Lawrence, though. Goes straight to the feet. Nicely cut out there by Chislett. It went straight to the feet there of number 20, but Chislett was able to read the pass, and now outside here to Rodoni. Plays a nice incisive pass over to Chislett. Can he find Presley down the middle? No, it was good defending by 23 to cut off the potential cross. Chislett still on the ball here, though, as he cut it back. Oh, wow. Edmonds Green forcing Chislett all the way back from inside the 18, all the way 25 yards out. That was disappointing. He could have maybe tried to find Presley at the top of the 6. He was wide open there, actually, Aaron Presley. So, danger has passed. Okay, Rodoni top of the box. Also, that started with Ethan Chislett coming back and cutting off the pass, playing it to Rodoni, and Rodoni played a nice incisive through ball down the right-hand side of Chislett, but we'll see what happens here with Nightingale. Ooh. Tries to play an incisive through ball to Rodoni, but barely cut off there. And now the switches The ball is switched over here to Smith for Rotherham, defended by Choka. Is he going to have... He doesn't have any support yet, but does now in the end have support by George Marsh as he came sprinting back as Ben Hennigan got caught up a little bit too far forward, and George Marsh sprinting back defensively to cut off the pass intended for, I think that was Lindsley going into the 18-yard box. Had he not come off with that tackle there, Lindsley could have played like a 5-6 yard square ball down the 6. So nicely done there by Marsh. Open-ended stuff. My score prediction is going to be 2-2. I think with both teams starting off with a 3 in the back here. And even though AFC Wimbledon have kind of struggled with chance creation lately. Oof. In-swinging cross with the left foot. Zanev comes out and kind of just tips it over with his right hand. Actually, it was like this. Outstretched right hand tipped it over for another corner kick. Nicely done there by Nick Zanev. But 2-2, I feel. I think with both teams starting with 3 in the back and with the power of Chislett and Rodoni out wide, I think could create some chances for Wimbledon. And then for Rotherham, of course, their leading goal scorer, Smith, probably going to get a goal or 2 off. So that second corner kick was that was a terrible one. Goal kick for Wimbledon.
Defending the goal, as I've said, which the Dons, the end where the Dons fans are housed this evening. Clearance forward then from Zanev, headed back forward by Wood. Now Grigg.
Yeah, Wood wins the header there, and now Grigg is trying to find somebody, but not able to find anybody. Square ball. Not a very good square ball, though, as Rodoni was able to cut it off. And now Chislett. Overlapping run here is Henry Lawrence. Lawrence tries to chip it forward to Presley. Presley's going to win it. Ooh. It was a little chip-through ball in there from Henry Lawrence, and Presley was able to shrug off his man. I think that was Wood. Yeah, that was Wood that Presley was able to shrug off, but then he tried to stick his leg out. Wasn't able to win that final ball as the goalkeeper came diving in to collect. Yeah, so Wood... I'm going to demonstrate more often because I can't do Giazas anymore. I can't show gifts, but Wood was trying to track the run back, and then, Presley was just, he kind of got in and shrugged his defender off and then tried to stick his foot out, but the goalkeeper's able to collect it. Yeah, I'm going to be a lot more animated in these streams from now on, just to try to, because sometimes I don't express myself as clearly as I want to, especially with a play-by-play when there's a lot of things going on at once. So but yeah, it was nicely done there from Presley. He was talking about wanting to use his physicality and wanting to, not only that, but he wants to improve game in and game out to make his game more diverse and to try to take responsibility with Ollie Palmer still kind of, I don't know. I mean, he started against Arsenal. I kind of found that sketchy, to be honest. Started against Arsenal after not even a week of being injured. And there were some fans on Twitter that were kind of, memeing on that. And there was this one person on Twitter that posted the GIF of the Undertaker rising from the dead, that match against Brock Lesnar. But yeah, Aaron Presley, I think, kind of a rough, shaky, inconsistent start to the season, but I think things are starting to look up now for Presley here, and hopefully we can play around Presley. And I think, having playing a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3 with 3 up front rather than having him as that lone striker, I think that will certainly enhance his game a little bit more. And we'll see what happens. Wood coming off there on a stretcher, I believe. Yeah. I mean, that just goes to show you the physicality of Aaron Presley. I mean, Presley came in with the shoulder. It wasn't anything, it was kind of innocuous, but I think what happened was Presley landed on top of Wood, and I think maybe he might have hurt his back or something. No, he didn't come off the stretcher. I think there was somebody else that came off. I don't know what happened there, but Wood, he's on his knees now. I think he actually landed on his head, so it might have been a head injury there. perhaps a concussion here from Wood. So definitely not a player you want to see down and out for Rotherham, as Wood is one of their rocks in the back in terms of center backs that could hold the fort down for Rotherham. So let's take a look at some results around the league now that we're at it here. Ipswich 1-0 against Doncaster. Not really a surprise there. Doncaster have been absolutely woeful this season. 5 points behind the next team up, Shrewsbury, in 23rd. So I think Alex Griffin's going to be sitting pretty here, even though Ipswich have kind of had a rough start to the season. They did get a draw against Sheffield, actually. Sheffield have been seeing a lot of 1-1s lately. I'm not sure what's going on with them. Just not able to take their chances and then just giving up 1 or 2 opportunities on the other end. But Alex Griffin's going to be very happy about that one. Oxford 1-0 against Accrington. I think that's a good result for now, even though Oxford, we don't like Oxford as AFC Wimbledon supporters. I think that's good because Oxford were like 14th in the table before this one, and Accrington somehow were in like 7th. So Fleetwood 1-0 against Milton Keynes. Let's go. Come on. I don't think Milton Keynes is going to get relegated this season. I mean, they have a really strong attacking side. But as long as they stay out of the top 6, I'll be happy. Charlton 1-0 Bolton. Sunderland 1-0 Cheltenham. Not a surprise. We'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. Anyway, play will be resumed here finally after a few minutes of a respite. Flicked on by Smith, and now it's going to be the other striker. Forgot his name, number 9. Cross was blocked by Hennigan. The cross coming in from Grigg, actually. That was the name of the other striker. No goals, no assists so far this season for Grigg. I think in like 5 or 6 starts for Rotherham. So a little bit disappointing for him, but we'll see if he can get on the score sheet for Rotherham. Score prediction's 2-2. That's going to be my score prediction. I think with both teams playing 3 in the back, and even though Wimbledon have had a bit of a tough time creating chances as of late, I think having this 3-4-3 formation, having more up front, and having some support for Aaron Presley, I think we will be seeing some goals for Wimbledon. As a result, though, with the 3 in the back for Wimbledon, I think we may be seeing, every now and again, we may be seeing, people committing too many numbers forward. Nightingale and Hennigan are not really known to commit forward on the attack, but I think every now and again maybe they'll get caught out by a 1-2 played between Ogbene and Ferguson, or Rathbone and Lindsay rather. So 2-2 is my final prediction. Although no goals in the first 20 minutes, not really too good for my score prediction in the end. George Marsh tries to play a quick pass over. Again, nice physicality there by Aaron Presley, but Marsh plays it all the way back to Hennigan. Hennigan, a little bit too casual on the ball. He gives it away here. Now an incisive pass over to Smith. Smith beats Chuka, but Daniel Marsh comes to the rescue there and gets the clearance, bounces off of Smith. Not fully clear, though, but Rotherham reset. Yeah, that was just poor there from Hennigan. I think he took one touch, and then his second touch was too heavy, and he got caught out by Lindsay, but looks to me like number 20 gives it away out over to Henry Lawrence now. Lawrence is going to play it over to the right-hand side to Jack Radoni, and now they reset. I think that's been a pattern so far from both sides. They go on the counter, and then the counter just kind of fizzles out, and they play it back to their center backs. Anyway, nice turn there by Alex Woodyard. Can he find somebody? Going to play a nice little chip, incisive pass over to Chislett, but he's offside. Damn. That was a good pass, though, by Alex Woodyard to play him over the top. But so far, both sides have seen counterattacks fizzle out. One with, a 2v2 situation with Jack Radoni playing an incisive pass over to Ethan Chislett, and he wasn't able to find Presley, who was wide open inside the top of the 18-yard box. He couldn't whip it around because the goalkeeper probably would have collected it, and he wouldn't have been able to play it behind Presley because it would have been played behind Presley. And then he was forced all the way out, 25 yards out. It was good defending there by, I think that was Edmonds Green, who was defending him. And then in that situation with Ben Hennigan, a couple minutes ago, Ben Hennigan giving it away. And then it was a pass over from Ferguson to Smith inside the 18-yard box on the right. And it was good defending there by George Marsh as after Smith took a touch around Chuka, Marsh just came sprinting in and tried to clear his lines and partially did so. George Marsh already with a couple of instances in which he came just, sprinting back defensively to try to help out. And I think that's a part of Wimbledon's game I think that's something that Anthony Hartigan kind of misses out. Hartigan very good when he's on the ball. You can kind of compare him to like a I think maybe like I'm trying to think. Just who's a center back historically, or center mid historically, that is just really good on the ball, but just really slow and not really known for their defensive track backs. Maybe like a Sergio Busquets, perhaps. But I think George Marsh really provides that assistance for Alex Woodyard that he hasn't really had in the past in terms of defensive track backs. So that being said, I talk a little bit too much. So. Henry Lawrence on the right here. There's Nightingale actually. Now Wimbledon are kind of knocking around here. Hennigan tries to play a ball forward, but easily cut away by Rathbone. But Rathbone gives it away now. Rathbone once again. Knocking around a little bit. Good defensive shape so far from Wimbledon. Now it's going to be Ogbene defended by Osu. Osu's forcing him to play the cross in with his left. And he plays a cross in from the ground intended for Grigg, but it was good work there by Daniel Chuka to get that one. Or he actually whiffed the clearance, but then it was Ben Hennigan who got it clear the second time. Oof. 2-0 Oxford over Accrington. That's a good result, actually. Header there won by... Ooh. George Marsh tries to play Ethan Chislett, but then I thought he got brought down there. No, I looked back at it. He just got shrugged off easily by the center back. Ikiewe, I think, or Ihiekwe. Paul Osu gets shrugged off actually by Ogbene, but he recovers very nicely and blocks across from Ogbene there after a long through ball there played into Ogbene. Yeah, Ogbene just tried to drop the shoulder and try to get a touchdown and play the cross in, but Osu recovers very nicely. Yeah, Hartigan is a good passer for the ball. Yeah, Pirlo, good comparison there. Yeah, Rathbone coming in as a... Ooh. Was it a signing or was it a loan? I think he got signed by Rotherham from Rochdale. Anyway, corner kick coming in. And Zanev again, we saw that same exact play like 10 minutes ago where he came in and like tipped it over with his right hand. It's a very unorthodox piece of goalkeeping, but it's a good piece of goalkeeping. He got it straight up and over everyone's head, and it went out for a throw-in, and Rotherham now give it away off the throw-in. So header won by both sides. Now it's going to be Henry Lawrence picking off one of the strikers there, and he's going to be coming forward on the attack. Rodoni plays Osu on the left. Rodoni's making a run on that left. Yeah, he plays it to Rodoni. Defended by two people, but he is good with that 1v1. Splits both not quite both defenders though, as Edmonds Green. Rodoni tried to split two defenders there, but Edmonds Green got his body in the way and drew the foul there from Rodoni. Good work there by Rodoni to play that switch over to Osu and then make a blinding, sprinting effort there to receive the ball back from Osu, but nothing comes of that.
Swedish Dons also coming over for that very same game. So it's going to be a real Scandinavian flavour down at Plough Lane with, of course, copious quantities of local ale and post-match subcontinental cuisine.
Again, Chukka wins the header over Smith from the clearance there from the goalkeeper. So far, Chukka has been winning those aerial duels, but looks to me like Ogbene 1-2 between him and Smith. Ogbene finds some space at the top of the box, just over the frame there. That was a really good opportunity for Rotherham to capitalize. At first, it was a header won by Chukka off the goal kick, but then Ogbene kind of played, he split Woodyard and Osu, played a ball into Smith, top of the box. Smith laid it back over, and then Ogbene tried his luck with a shot from 22 yards out. It was a really good strike from him, just over the frame. And Ogbene, I think, only has 1 goal this season, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or no goals at all. No goals, actually. No goals, period. So that would have been his first goal this season. I rewinded 10 seconds, by the way. I am a little bit behind here, so we'll see what happens. Header won by both sides here. Chislett's going to be coming back to track back and try to play someone. All right, I'm back live now. Oh, Smith and Chukka run onto it, and Chukka wins that slide tackle over. Smith gets there first. Now over to the left-hand side here to Osu. Back to Chukka. Draws the foul against Smith. Yeah, he took a heavy first touch, Chukka, but then he got his body in the way to draw the foul. Smartly done there from Chukka. I'm pretty impressed so far from him. Winning headers and, you know, putting his body in the right positions to draw the fouls. So far, he's won the duel over Smith. Oh, it's a ball played over the top here, intended for Grigg, but defended nicely by Nightingale to force him back to play it back to Ferguson. Actually, that was Barlaser actually on the ball. And he eventually made his way to the corner flag, but then he got picked off. Once again, Rotherham find themselves in the corner flag, and, you know, 3 Wimbledon players around the likes of Barlaser and Grigg, who try to support Barlaser on the corner flag there. But it's going to be a throw in here for Wimbledon, as I think it was a clearance that deflected off of Barlaser. Yeah, it was good work there by Nightingale to force Grigg all the way back and play it back to Barlaser, who made another run all the way to the corner flag. On the ball run, he took it, you know, 15 yards all the way to the corner flag. But I digress. Ferguson now triple teamed here by Woodyard and Rodoni. Rodoni picks it off, and now Woodyard is on the ball, draws the foul. I think both teams are playing very well defensively, even though, you know, both teams are starting with 3 in the back. I think, you know, it's been open-ended for the most part in terms of, you know, through balls being played, but that final pass hasn't been found by either side for the most part, as Chukka defending well in the air, Nightingale defending well in terms of, you know, not allowing Rathbone or Grigg to getting behind him. So, you know, both good work by both defensive units here. Sunderland 2-0 Cheltenham. Fleetwood 2-1 against Milton Keynes. That's already an open-ended game. Who's on the score sheet here for Milton? Okay, Gerard Gardner, the leading striker here for Fleetwood. Okay, 10 seconds behind. I'm 10 seconds behind again. I missed what just happened. So, goalkeeper. Oh, the header this time won by Smith. Bounces around, pinball in between a couple players, and Woodyard had to blast it over the frame. That was his only option there. It's going to be a corner kick here. Yeah, the ball bounced off of Chukka's head after Smith won the header like 5 yards away from Chuka. And it's going to be a corner kick here for Rotherham. I'm back live here. Short corner here. Going to be played in by Barlaser, and it looks to me like one of them tried to get their head on it, but Chuka gets it clear after it just bounced off his chest. He just was able to whiff it away, or whack it away rather.
Once again then will take the throw from their right hand side. Edmonds Green on the halfway line throws it into Rathbone, back to Edmonds Green. Now
Hekway's Rotherham giving plenty of space here now on the left-hand side here. Okay, whoever that is at the top of the box, Lindsley has so much space to strike, but eventually gets blocked by Hennigan, who was the last line of defense. We gave up a lot of space to the center mids there in that attack. Ball was played over to Rathbone, and Rathbone kind of plays a square ball over. Not a square ball, it was kind of diagonally away to frame to, I think, Lindsley, who had like 10 yards of space, took a couple touches, tried to blast it, but it was blocked by Hennigan at the top of the 18. We don't want to give them, even though Ferguson and Lindsley don't have a goal to their name in this season, we don't want to give them space to shoot. Especially, you know, I would have, if I were a Rotherham fan, I would have liked to see Ben Wiles on the field today. But he's going to be in the bench. But Wiles with 3 goals, and he can, if he gets, you know, gets room for a shot, he's going to be blasting it. We saw that perfectly exemplified against Bolton with his top corner finish. Scum MK. Fuck, 2-2 now? Damn. That's a shame. 2-0 Ipswich over Doncaster. Not a surprise. Smith is going to play it over to the left-hand side here. Again, plenty of space here. A cross being played in. Back post! That was a really good ball played over to the back post. Is that Greg? Yeah, that's his first goal of the season. To recap that, actually, let me go back. It was a throw-in here. And George Marsh tried to get his foot on it. And number 9, Grigg, actually was at the top of the 18 to lay it off to Smith. Smith played over to the left-hand side. Way too much space being given to either Lindsley or Rathbone on that left-hand side. Cross was delivered back post. Osu wasn't able to get to the back post in time. Yeah, it was just a really good cross to the back post there. Paul Osu wasn't able to get there in time. Just over the head of Daniel Chuka. And Grigg gets his first goal of the season. Damn, man. It's going to be 1-0. Let me just get that set up here. At least the AFC Wimbledon supporters are making their voices heard here in the away end, but that's rough. I mean, that's what happens when you give the center mids and the outside mids plenty of space. I mean, Wimbledon got caught, like almost all their players. I think only one player, which was Henry Lawrence. Only Henry Lawrence was on the other side of the pitch when the throw-in was committed. So Rotherham just play a couple quick passes, switch the play over, and then Wimbledon shift all their numbers up to the other side, and then cross is played all the way to the other side. Back post, easy header. Looping header to the back post to Grigg, and now Smith finds himself on the ball here, plays it over to Barlaser, but it was good defending there by Daniel Chuka. Force him back over. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this game is going to dictate how the rest of the season is going. I think it's more so a good run of form, or, you know, a string of 3-4 games could dictate how the rest of the season will play out. But, you know, Rotherham, I mean, this game is not as, it was pretty open-ended, but there weren't as many chances created by both sides as I thought there would be. But Rotherham capitalizing very well off of a very good cross played in to Grigg. And now it's going to be Edmonds Green playing a far post ball. Header won by Henry Lawrence there, but not clear the danger here with Ferguson on the ball here. The cross is intended for Ferguson initially. Ferguson gets a good left-footed crossover. Lindsley tried to get a foot on it, but nothing doing. Back over. Tried to play a ball back over to Ferguson, but it was cut off. George Marsh clears his lines.
The Dons won't get to hold the ball up as Rathbone tidies up at the back and steers it back to Wood. Now here goes Edmonds Green once again.
Why so much space? Edmonds Green was given so much space.
Deflects away.
But luckily that came to nothing. Ooh.
Nicely through the legs of Barley.
Chislett does split the legs of Barley there, but oh no. Ogbene. So Ogbene was played a through ball. Paul Osu tried to stick his foot out and get it out for a throw in, but couldn't quite wrap his foot around it. And Ogbene tried to play a ground cross, but it was cleared away by Hennigan. Rotherham are playing really good football now, and I'm really concerned about the space, given Jack Rodoni wasn't able to track back in time to cut out Edmonds Green, who had so much space from like 55 yards, or from the 55-yard area all the way to like the 25-yard area. Wasn't able to. He was trying to drive a low hard cross, but it got cleared away initially. But we're giving so much space to these center backs and these center mids. Cross played in, a floater headed away by Hennigan. Yeah.
Gradually in this half, we've been pushed back into our own half here in Rotherham.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen this in seasons prior where AFC Wimbledon start off strong, but then they lose a few games and then they firmly cement themselves in like the bottom of the table. Referring to 2019-2020 here mainly.
How they started the half, they were starting to try and stretch the play, and as we were saying, it's a difficult one for Aaron Pressley here tonight. How they trying to play into those pockets of space for the likes of perhaps Jack Rodoni and Chislett and so on to come closer to him as well and give him those opportunities. And just at the moment, just getting out of their own half here again.
Indeed, that's something also that's kind of dried up for the Dons in the last few moments. But
again, Chuka wins the header partially over Smith, but then Smith was able to win the second pass and lay it over to Lindsley. Lindsley cuts it back to his left, plays across in, heads it away. Or Nightingale heads it away. Sorry, I have carbonation in my throat. Okay, counterattacking opportunity here. Chislett plays Pressley. Presley gets a little touch. Yeah, Richard Wood comes across, and it was good work from both players. Wood to get the clearance off, but Pressley to get a little touch off of him intentionally, and bounces off of Wood's foot as he came sliding in. Wimbledon knocking around here. Hennigan gives it away again. Just took a little bit too much time on the ball. Tried to play a pass over to Chislett, but then it got partially nicked. And now Smith is going to try to play, okay, forces it through and easily cut out by Hennigan. Hennigan plays it over to Rodoni. The pass wasn't the best, so it forces Rodoni to turn it back. Woodyard looking for support here. He finds support in Osu, who plays the hold-up. That was an interesting situation. Osu got... Oh, man. Osu got out-muscled by Ogbene, and then Osu tried to hold the ball up with his knees and deemed to have been a dangerous play, I guess, by the referee, as Osu eventually tried to use his foot while he was on the ground to nick the ball off, but... Yeah, he just got shrugged off. Osu's not really known for his physicality. It looked like a very sticky situation there, as Ogbene was leaning over, as Osu was on his haunches there, on his hands and knees. Don't want to paint a picture like that, but just trying to create a bit of a humorous situation. Yeah, first 20 minutes, kind of, give and take from both sides, but now it's pretty much all Rotherham here. Oh, Hennigan gets caught out. It looked to me like a clearance from Rotherham, but it went straight over the head of Hennigan, and it was a good first touch by Greg to touch it down. He tried to play a square ball over to Smith, but it was cut out and cleared. Ogbene double teamed by Marsh and Osu. Nicely done there by Chislett to cut off the pass, but Barlaser cut it off after Chislett cut it off himself. Barlaser with some space on the top of the 18 tries to play an incisive pass. Tries to play a pass towards goal to Smith, but it was too heavy of a pass, and Smith wasn't able to get to that one, and easily collected by Zanev.
How has the game changed for you, perhaps, Dave, since Rotherham got themselves in front with Will Grigg's header?
Strangely, if anything, it seems to settle Wimbledon down.
Let's listen to the commentary here.
I've looked slightly less dangerous since that slightly fortuitous header from the journeyman striker, who I think knows what he is. But there we are. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Not
Oh, ball played outside of Smith. He's offside.
And that noise is the home fans failing to understand the offside.
Most goals scored and conceded.
Yes, unmistakable.
The mark of inconsistency for AFC Wimbledon.
The respite again for the Dons, and well, proof positive, especially when they're sitting right.
I don't know, man. I mean,
what a partisan bunch they are.
Sorry, the audio is probably a little too loud. It's just been a pattern throughout the season after season after season. They just can't get their defensive shape right, and I mean, so I gave Wimbledon props in the first 20 minutes or so. They were defending well, you know, they had good shape, but the problem is they can't maintain that throughout the 90 minutes. It seems throughout most of the games that they play throughout any season that they have seen in League One, League Two, you know. League Two is League Two. It's a lot easier. I feel like there's a huge skill gap between League Two and League One, especially in recent seasons with, you know, the likes of Sunderland, Portsmouth, Wigan, etc. Rotherham now. Ooh. Ferguson played a really nice ball, but Chalka just barely getting his head on that and just kind of flicked over him. And that was, if he didn't get that head on it, number 20, the center back, Ihiekwe, would have found himself with like a maybe a slide tackle. He was trying to slide tackle and get in it, so probably would have had a shot towards frame there. But Daniel Chalka, I feel like he's been kind of one of our shining lights in this game, winning plenty of headers. This time the header won by Smith, near post. I was afraid of that. I'm going back and looking at that. This time it was, you know, it was Smith starting off in the back post, sprinting towards that near post, and Daniel Chalka a little bit late to react, but to be fair, you know, you sometimes don't know what your mark's going to do, and Smith was able to get away from Chalka near post, able to nod it through, and it's going to be 2-0 Rotherham. I was afraid of that. I kind of figured that Rotherham would score at least one headed goal today, and there it is, 2-0. I'm going to look back at that again to see if they could have done anything better. Yeah, nothing really they could have done better. Maybe Zanev could have... I mean, to be fair, near post goals are not one you want to concede, but off of corner kicks, you know, as a goalkeeper, you usually want to start on the back end of the goal. It's easier to come forward than it is to come backward. So when Zanev tried to come forward and position himself, all it was just a near post header over Zanev. Zanev tried to react and get his hand on it, but not able to react in time. And Michael Smith, 6th goal of the season for him. And Rotherham fans, stand up.
Goal for Rotherham here. 2 goals they lead by now.
Well, it was a well-delivered corner in from the far side, but not going with Smith. And now another shot comes in.
Another goal for Rotherham.
Again, sketchy situation here as I'm going to look back to see what happened there. As Ethan Chislett wasn't able to clear his lines, he tried to turn off of the top of the 18, but got muscled off, and shot coming in. Zanev was able to collect. Luckily, the shot came right to his hands. Oh, why do I support AFC Wimbledon? I feel like a broken record with this because, like, you know, I have a lot of new viewers coming in and wondering about that. Why don't I support, you know, the likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, etc.? I did follow Manchester United back in the day when I was like 9, 10. I used to like Cristiano Ronaldo. And then I kind of bandwagoned Real Madrid because of Cristiano Ronaldo. But how I became an AFC Wimbledon fan. If you want to look at the whole story, I have a video on my channel, the very first video I uploaded. But long story short, I played FIFA 16 career mode. because AFC Wimbledon were the lowest ranked team in the game, and I decided to play as them and try to get them out of the Premier League. Eventually, I decided, okay, why not follow them, see how they're doing. And when I did that, I actually found out about their story, how they got bought out by a certain team from Milton Keynes, and they started from the ground up. And I truly supported that story. I love an underdog story, and especially one that pertains to loyalty. That's something that, that's a character trait that I hold in very high regard, is loyalty, and I think AFC Wimbledon truly embodies that. Anyway, that being said, Alex Woodyard easily nicked off by Rathbone, and Rathbone tries to play a through ball in to Smith. Rathbone was just able to shrug off Alex Woodyard, as his first or second touch was a little bit too heavy there. But that's how I became yeah, I fell in love with the club since then.
Glimmer of hope in the second half. Actually, would contend for the Dons, but they really need to try and hurt Rotherham a little bit more when they come forward, make it a little bit less unpredictable. And the likes of Presley at times have been pretty isolated when it's played forward as well. And if they can get players into positions around him, they might have a bit more of a chance. But as things stand, Rotherham have got Dons exactly where they want them.
Absolutely, Anderson. It's just about trying to get out of our own half at times here at the moment as well. The second quarter of this game has seen
I mean, Wimbledon, first 20 minutes were okay. Last 25 hasn't been there, to say the least.
those pockets of opportunity and not leave Aaron Presley so isolated up there. We saw a chance for him early on here, of course, which resulted in that
Yeah,
5 minutes of time to be added on here for the challenge.
I mean, I still have a small soft spot. Hold on. Ball coming in here. Zanev collect. Ooh, partially spills it, but recollects. I still have a bit of a soft spot for Man United, but then I've come to not support, but I've come to empathize with a couple other teams in the Premier League, like Tottenham. Like they've throughout the years they haven't won a single trophy, and Arsenal fans just continue to pester them. So I'm like, I kind of want to see them finally win a Premier League. Or Everton, they've had a couple of Brazilians throughout the years, like Bernard, now Richarlison. I'm a huge fan of Richarlison. He came from the Fluminense Academy, and that's the team that I support, is Fluminense. Came from the Fluminense Academy, played for Fluminense, the first team, for a couple of years. And I kind of have a soft spot for Everton as well because of Richarlison, but as of late, Richarlison has kind of shown a bit of an attitude. That game, I think it was against Aston Villa, where they won 2-0. They won a penalty, and Richarlison was trying to take the penalty, and his teammates are telling him, "Hey, let Calvert-Lewin take the penalty." He's like, "No, get the fuck off me! I want to take the penalty." And then eventually, he just gave it to Calvert-Lewin, and that I didn't like. I thought that was a bit arrogant from Richarlison. I see it both ways. Richarlison, he has a drive and passion to win, and he's confident in himself. But at the same time, just let Calvert-Lewin take the penalty. But there's only one team I support, and that is none other than AFC Wimbledon, and I will support them until the day I die. That being said, 2-0. I've never seen Wimbledon play in person, let alone visit the UK. I want to visit the UK. I had plans to go in August last month, but they had COVID restrictions. They forced me. Americans that came and visited the UK would have had to quarantine for 2 weeks. And just to rub salt in the wound, a few weeks before I actually made I made plans to go elsewhere. I went to Mexico, and I also went to Michigan in the United States. Just a couple weeks before, they lifted those restrictions. They're like, hey, you don't need to quarantine anymore. Fuck. But I plan on going late March, early April to the UK and watch a couple of AFC Wimbledon games, one against Cambridge at home and one against Sheffield Wednesday at Sheffield. So that's going to be fun. Very historic ground. I plan on watching a couple Premier League, maybe Championship games as well. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able. If we make the playoffs, I don't think we will. I don't think I will be able to watch it because, like I said, I'm going to be going in March and April, and going a couple months later, it's going to be a bit taxing on my finances as well as my work. Taking days off of so many days off of work Maybe next season. This season, though, I'm just going to watch the Cambridge and the Sheffield games. But the playoff against... Yeah, that game was... I watched the highlights of that game. It seemed absolutely mental. I mean, the fan base just seemed... I mean, the fan base in general just seems very passionate about their club. But just imagine being there, getting promoted to League One once and for all. And that game against Accrington Stanley, too, where they got a last minute... Or not last minute, but, they found a stoppage time goal with Tom Beer with, like, a shot that got deflected, and another shot came in the bottom corner. The fans at Kings Meadow roaring and blowing the roof off of the place. But that being said, 2-0, disappointing first half, and I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to... well, actually, I'm not going to grab some food, but I have to do a couple things real quick. I will be back. Let me stop the timer here real quick, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. I don't want to take too long, so I'll be back. What's up?
No, when are you gonna be able? I have so much song.
Like-
Forget about the car today.
Like 30 minutes.
And then, lastly,
Forget about the car because I need the songs to come on.
What's up, lads and lasses? Alright, so the second half should start in about 2 minutes or so. I just want to see if there were any changes in the lineups real fast. I didn't really get to talk much about like what I feel like should be changed or anything of the sort. I just kind of left because I had to attend to something really fast. But in terms of what I want to see in terms of line, or why am I saying that twice? In regards to what I want to see and who I want to see come on, I don't know if we should go with an instant substitution, but I would say Luke McCormick should come on. But who should he come on for? Radoni, Chislett. I would say around the 60th minute around, maybe have Chislett come off for McCormick. I don't want to knock Chislett too much because he didn't see the ball all that much. But when he did, he lacked that sort of he lacked that razor's edge. He lacked that instinct to like play, like to find one quick pass over to like Aaron Presley who's open at the box, or he lacked that killer instinct when he was on the ball. So perhaps Chislett for McCormick, and McCormick can maybe change the dynamic around a little bit. Mabude maybe as someone that could break through the enemy lines with pace. Other than that, I think just stick with what we got right now. I know we're 2-0 down, but I don't know. I think Daniel Chaka has been an absolute godsend for us this half. So I don't think switching to a 4-3-3 or switching to a 4 in the back in general, I don't think that's the move here. We'll see, though. We'll see. I think maybe Osu eventually as well, even though it's nice to see him getting some minutes. I think that, against the likes of Ogbene and Smith, who are very, they're very physical players. And I think at times Osu has struggled in the physicality department there. So I think bring on someone like Nesta Guinness-Walker perhaps. And, at times he does struggle. I think last couple of games he's been doing really good in terms of defensive positioning, but I think he's more known for his offensive style of play. So have him playing as an outside mid that can occasionally drop back defensively, I think that could certainly work wonders for Wimbledon. So Nesta Guinness-Walker for Osu, and maybe McCormick for Chislett eventually down the line. What's the weather like in the stadium? I think I would have to say cloudy skies, but no rain. Rotherham weather. Well, it is. It says rain, but it doesn't look to me like it's raining that hard right now. Maybe it is partially sprinkling. Big storm where I'm living. Oh, okay, it's raining heavily. Do you have the Wimbledon shirts? I have a Wimbledon t-shirt and I have a Wimbledon jersey that one of my friends in the UK is stashing for me. He actually bought one at the Wimbledon store right before when Kingsmeadow was doing their last fire sale before they were moving to Plough. Or at the time they were moving to QPR Stadium to share the stadium with them in the first half of the season. But I had my friend buy an AFC Wimbledon jersey and have that ready to go.
Back at a later juncture, but of course, without the international spiritual gift of VAR, of course,
Hopefully it's not a Joe Piggott shirt. I actually don't know. I think it's a nameless jersey. I think it's just an AFC Wimbledon shirt with the crest, with the Football Manager, sponsor on the front, but on the back, I don't think it has a number. So God forbid I get a Joe Piggott shirt, because I feel very betrayed by Piggott not re-signing, but it's all right. He did a lot for us, to be fair, so I can't be too salty. Anyway, Hennigan trying to play a ball forward here to Osu, but the header easily won there by Ogbene. Osu not the tallest individual either. For those of you wondering, I'm drinking Rowdy Energy. It's an energy drink with natural green tea caffeine, and most of the flavors have artificial sweeteners, but there are a couple with sugar. And even the sugar ones only have 16 grams per can, so obviously not super healthy, but I think it's a lot healthier of an alternative than Monster, Rockstar, etc. Those are terrible. Those are probably the worst beverages you can possibly drink. Even though I'm a United fan, I think I'm going to buy a Wimbledon shirt to help the club out. That'd be fantastic. As a I don't want to say former. I was a follower of Man United. I wasn't really supporting them. I was mainly following them as a way to, engage with my friends that also followed the Premier League. I was mainly Cristiano Ronaldo bandwagon, but I did watch some Man United games at the time, and I did cheer for them. But I'd like to think that my support truly lies for Rotherham. But Ronaldo coming back kind of reminded me of my childhood, and it really made me not conflicted, because I'm gonna support Wimbledon until I die. But I can definitely see where you're coming from there. Plenty of fans worldwide, and Man United is a worldwide club. It engages people from different cultures, and that's something that I like as well. That's something I respect about them. But then again, some other fan bases are like, "Oh, your only fans are from London. Your only fans are from China. You don't have any fans from Manchester," which, to a certain extent, is kind of true. But they have some really, really passionate, diehard fans from Manchester. Especially their away fans. Oh my God, their away fans are probably some of the best fans in England. But I would love, honestly, to go. Imagine AFC Wimbledon versus Manchester United. And, the raucous and passionate away Manchester United fans, and just me supporting Wimbledon. It would be such a great atmosphere. My God. Or, a game at Old Trafford, going to the away end, at the Wimbledon away end. That would be fantastic as well. One day. But anyway, Wimbledon knocking it around here. Hasn't really been too much to comment on. Daniel Chukka gives it away here, though. Kind of an errant pass over. But Chukka recovers nicely as he gets the slide tackle in ahead of, what was his name again? I forget. Grigg. Yeah, he's able to get the slide tackle and pick it off of Grigg, and the intended through ball was for Grigg there. So, Chukka's first real mistake of the match here, tried to play a ball over to Chislett, but it was like, a couple yards away from him. But nicely done there on the recovery. Yeah, the shirt that my friend bought for me was from the 2019-2020 season. The season in which got, ended early through COVID. 3-0 Oxford against Accrington. Even though I don't like Oxford, I mean, it's still a good result for us. Ferguson here, nicely tracked back by Woodyard. Oh, okay. Nick Zana was coming way off of the outside the 18 to receive a pass, and Woodyard played it towards the goal frame, so he was able to recover, but gets a very kind of a poor clearance, and Ogbene and number 9, I forget his name, Grigg. Ogbene and Grigg playing a 1-2. Ogbene tried to play a crossover, is partially won the header there by Nightingale, and then Zanev collects. Sketchy situation here.
No, we know we've got to be bold here, but whilst we're creating space as well, Rotherham are, of course, buoyed by that 2-goal lead, and they're running into those spaces, and they're getting back at the Dons here now. We've got to, try and push on to get something from this.
Yeah, it was partially won there by Hennigan, the little flick over. Luckily, it didn't go over Zanev's head as he collected it at the top of the 6. Yeah, I know. I'm perfectly aware of the loyalty and the passion towards one club. I'm not a fan of switching fan bases. I'm not a fan of bandwagoning. For example, I've been a Lakers fan since I was a kid. Obviously, some people will tell you that you're a bandwagoner for supporting the Lakers. But when the Lakers were god awful in 2014, 2015, and the Clippers were in the playoffs every year, I still supported the Lakers. And you can say that, yeah, I switched from Manchester United to Wimbledon, but that's because I actually, truly supported the cause rather than just the team and their fame. I actually fell in love with the story, and I'm never, ever, ever going to let that die. So that's the only instance in which I'll switch a team. Quote, switch a team. But never. Loyalty is something I hold in very, very high regard. I know that, yeah, I did support them when I was a kid, but it was mainly for Cristiano Ronaldo. I think that's another reason why I kind of, what's the word for it? Justified my switch, but never again. And I've really kind of grown, sorry, I'm just focusing on the game. I've grown fond of a lot of the players in Wimbledon. Nightingale, one of our own. Jack Rodoni, a player from the academy, and pours his heart and soul out into the team. Ayuba Sal, all of a sudden coming out of nowhere with a quick resurgence of his career. I've really grown fond of the players as well as the club, and I think that's part of what makes a fan or a supporter is, getting to know the players and having a sort of emotional attachment to them. I think if you switch from Wimbledon to United, like that's usually only, switching from a small team to a big team is only really seen in England. Usually people from other countries, foreigners from other countries will support a big team first, right? But yeah, that'll definitely, you'll definitely get some stick from switching from from a small club to a big club, or supporting a big club even though you're from the complete opposite side of the country. I'm looking at you, Liverpool fans that are from London. I can't really give too much stick to Liverpool fans because most of them are ingenious from Liverpool or have family that was from Liverpool that support Liverpool. But Liverpool fans from London, Manchester United fans from London. I mean, if you're from Japan, if you're from I don't know, if you're from Africa, the South America, and you support Man United, Chelsea, I don't really care that much. But if you're from England and you're from London and or let's say you're from Brentford and you decide to support Liverpool, I don't know. I just don't see it. Unless you have family members that support Liverpool, that's fine. But Declan, yeah, I've noticed that a lot of supporters from other clubs, they have a soft spot for Wimbledon. I have a friend that lives in the UK who's a Luton Town fan, and he absolutely respects and sometimes even you know, supports AFC Wimbledon. Anyway, Dapa Mabude coming in here. I've kind of strayed away from the game a little bit. Osu coming off, Mabude coming on. Yeah, certainly can help Aaron Presley. Anyway, a header won by Lindsley, easily collected by Zainab. These first 10 minutes have kind of been helter-skelter, really kind of a boring first 10 minutes. Excuse me. Goal kick won by one of the center backs for Rotherham, but Woodyard's able to shrug him off. Long ball played here to Chislett. Gets shrugged off. Ooh, nice turn there by Woodyard after the pass from Hennigan. Plays to the center here to Redoni. Can he find someone? Overlap after he plays it over to Lawrence, but Lawrence switches the play. That pass was intended for Marsh, but it skips past him all the way to Choka. Marsh now to Presley. Back to Choka. They're knocking around very well here. Choka's going to be on the attack here with the overlapping run. This time Mabude actually takes it to the center. Second touch is a little too heavy, though. Cleared away. So, yeah, Wimbledon, even though they knocked it around a little bit there, they weren't able to find something. It's been kind of a pattern. Yeah, play is going to be stopped now. Lindsay is on the ground there. That's what you want to see from Mabude, though, as he starts off on the wing and takes a couple heavy touches, you know, with his quick pace, but his second touch is a little too heavy towards the center of the 18. He likes that a lot. He likes to start from the outside, going to the inside. Nothing doing in that situation, though. I did shave. Yes. That's, by the way, that is my friend in real life. She doesn't know that much about football, but every now and again she does come on and show some support. So, hello, hello. I'm from London, used to but support United. You know, I honestly, I know I was giving some stick from people that are from London but support United and stuff. But as long as you stick to your guns, as long as you maintain, you know, maintain your loyalty and your passion to the club that you decide to support. That's okay. In the end, that's okay. That's okay with me. I wanted to be a Newcastle fan, but was bullied by school. Yeah, I mean, Man United is the definition of a worldwide club. I mean, everywhere you go, no matter where you go in the world, you're gonna see someone with a Man United shirt. So, yeah. Jamie Lindsley is gonna be helped off the pitch here. And Ben Wiles, one of Rotherham's own, is going to be coming on here. To the support and applause there from the fans. Oof, that was good pressure there by the center back, Grigg there to pressure Woodyard off the ball there. Is pass from Marsh intended for... Yeah, it was intended for Mabude, but then it was cut off. It was kind of forced from Marsh. Sometimes I get caught up with my commentary. I'm like, oh, this. Oh, wait, who's this player again? Fuck. I was looking over to the Rotherham lineups to see who cut off Mabude, and then a couple of passes were strung together, and I missed that one. So, I'm gonna try to keep my commentary concise. It's a good ball played over by Chislett to Mabude. He's gonna take on 1v1 to Edmonds. Take on Edmonds Green 1v1. He tried to nutmeg him, but Green's it bounced off his leg and cleared away to Grigg. Grigg tried to get a header to Smith, but Nightingale actually shrugs it off, and it's going to be a throw in here for Wimbledon. 30 minutes to go here. We'll see if that substitution will pan out. Mabude so far has seen himself on the ball a couple of times. Zanev to Choka. Choka just plays a ball over to Mabude. Tried to shrug off his defender, but again, the second touch, I've noticed that from Mabude. First touch is good. Second touch to try to get him into space is too heavy. That one was cleared away easily by Rathbone. Throw in here and okay. Chislett back to Choka. Choka clears it away. Good touch by Radoni. Oh, Radoni missed a great opportunity. Daniel Choka played a high looping ball. It looked to me like it was going to be headed away there by Ferguson, but or actually it was Ikewe that tried to go for the header, completely missed it. And Radoni's first touch was a very good one. Brought it down top of the 6-yard box. Tried to lace it to the back post, but gets it 3 yards, 4 yards wide of the frame. That is rough. I mean, it was a high and looping cross from Choka. Ihiekwe misjudges the trajectory of it. Great first touch by Radoni. Tries to blast it. I mean, at that point, you could just use your side foot maybe to place it to the back post, or try to use the top of your laces to try to. If you're gonna lace it, try to use the top of your laces to make it a little bit more accurate. But I think Radoni hooked his leg a little bit too far across his body. Top of the 6, wide of the frame. That is a very good opportunity missed by Jack Radoni. And sorry I didn't have the timer in. 61st minute. Long throw coming in here, partially cleared away by Wimbledon. Grigg is going to hold the play up here. He's going to pass it to Ogbene. Gets the cross off, and good collection by Nick Zanev. Hey, come on. Get your fucking hands off him. One of the Rotherham players is trying to hold Zanev back. Zanev with the long throw attempt. The referee's going to pull the play back. I think he let it go, the referee, to see what the situation was going to be like. Zanev tried to throw it long to Mabude. Pass got cut off, and then the referee called it back, actually, for a foul on top of Zanev. So very good refereeing there, actually. Very good refereeing. Sunderland 4-0 against Cheltenham. By Cheltenham. They are suffering a very tough one right now. I would have to agree with everything you just said there. The lower league football is all about passion. Money doesn't really run the clubs too much unless you're Sunderland. I mean, money doesn't run their club too much. It's just they were a former, Premier League giant that got relegated to League One, and then Portsmouth had a lot of managerial ownership issues with a scandal with a couple of Arab owners. One of them didn't even exist, apparently. Sunderland 5-0 against Cheltenham. 2 goals in the span of 3 minutes, because why not? Yeah, the football in the Premier League is starting to be soulless. I would have to agree with you in that regard.
Another throw-in conceded to Rotherham United, Rob. 63.5 minutes gone. The Dons still 2 goals in arrears.
Yeah, as we approach the final quarter of this game. Further signs of activity down on the Dons bench.
Well, let's take a look at some other results around the league, actually. See if we get some help from any other teams here. Actually, no, throw in. I'll check that later. Throw in 1 here by the center mid. Actually, no, it was 24 Smith, who dropped in deep. Marsh plays it back. Hennigan tries to play a incisive, sharp pass over to Radoni. Radoni tried to muscle his way past his center back and turn, but it was Edwards Green or whatever that was. His name is Edmonds Green, actually shrugging him off. Presley holding it up here, but easily won by Ikiewe, but he got fouled there. Draws the foul. I think that was half ball, half man. Stepped in, won the ball with his foot, but then kind of shoved Presley in the process. Presley's been doing decent in terms of the hold-up, but he hasn't found the ball too much in the second half. Nightingale tries to take a touch ahead of Smith, but gives it away, trying to do too much with the football. Or with the ball, rather, and gives it away. But luckily, Smith got his pocket picked by Marsh, I think.
One-on-one confrontations all over the pitch.
Yeah, and that would have been highlighted
Ooh, Henry Lawrence. Nicely done there. A 1-2 play between him and Presley, and Henry Lawrence tries to split the defenders in the center, but got picked off by Lindsay. Yeah, he did well to get away from the pressure there as Rathbone was putting the pressure on him. Turned away from Rathbone, played it to Presley. Presley played it back one time, and then Henry Lawrence tried to take a heavy touch, splitting two defenders. Good piece of play there from Henry Lawrence to get away from the high press from Rotherham. Gave the ball away in the end, but I mean, it was him trying to split the defenders, and it's going to be a throw in here for Rotherham. It's going to be Grigg coming off for Rotherham. Was the goal scorer for the first goal, getting a nice little header back post there off of a cross. And it's going to be COYD, number 19, coming in here for Rotherham. Yeah, you know what? I could definitely see them in the Premier League within the next 10 years. But hopefully, yeah, they don't sell those. They don't sell their souls to the devil either. I don't think so. You know, I think us Wimbledon fans. I think again, it's a fan-owned club. Anyway, Woodyard to yeah, they're knocking around here. One-touch football. Marsh switches the play over to Chuka. You got Ethan Chislett playing through ball. No, instead Chuka takes it to the center. I thought he could have played Chislett one time there, as Chislett was you know, vehemently asking for it at the top of the 18. Anyway, Rotherham chasing him down. The substitute COYD pressing Ben Hennigan as Hennigan clears his lines and tries to find Presley on the through ball, on the long ball there, but wasn't able to get on that one. That's what they. Yeah, it's a good point. Find the space. They've been finding the space lately with Chislett making the runs, with Henry Lawrence, you know, finding the goalkeeper slips on the punt attempt, but luckily it goes to okay. They give it away now. It went to the center mid who played a square ball over to Barlaser, but Barlaser slipped Gerrard style, and now Chislett top of the box here is going to play it over. Presley trying to hold the ball up and find somebody, switches the play to Henry Lawrence. Maybe an out run from Rodoni. No, he takes it to his left. Lawrence, left-footed shot from outside the box. Well sought out by Johansson. He was going to dive for it, but then raises his arms, just wide of the frame there. Rodoni looked to be open for a second there. I think Henry Lawrence was afraid that if he tried to play Rodoni at the side of the 18-yard box, a through ball, he probably would have got his pocket picked because he was marked very closely by the center back Ihiekwe. So he intended to take it upon himself with his left foot there. Decent effort, but just wide of the frame. That's what Henry Lawrence has been doing very well so far, is, you know, changing the pace, starting off slow, but then quickly changing pace and going towards the center to create more attacking opportunities and to create more runs from other players. But a couple of headers won by Rotherham, but cleared away there by Nightingale. Okay. Barlaser's going to switch the play. Actually, no, it's going to be putting it inside the box. Ferguson, looks to me like Woodyard is forcing Ferguson. Yes, good defending by Woodyard. The ball went off of Ferguson. Ferguson was trying to hold the ball up and look for support, but Woodyard said no, sir. Ihiekwe. Couldn't pronounce it, but MK Dons are now 3-2 up against Fleetwood Twine. Their leading goal scorer, I believe, on the score sheet. I think that's his second of the game, I believe. So, rough. Bolton 2-1 up against Charlton. Smith is going to switch the play, and plenty of space here as Dapo Mabude wasn't able to track back in time. Ogbene with a left-footed shot. Mabude, in the end, put off Ogbene, as Ogbene could have taken a heavy touch with his right foot. But, you know, Mabute is very pacey, so he was able to get back just in time, forcing Ogbene with his left foot, try to get a curler as he turned away from goal, and then back towards goal, wide of the frame there. Smith on the ball now on the corner flag. Plays it back to Ferguson, and plays a nice incisive pass over. Rathbone tries to get a cross off all the way back post to Ogbene, and he shanks the shot with his right foot. I think he tried to power it near post. That first cross was partially headed away by Hennigan, got a partial header away, but then Ogbene tried to blast it near post. And probably didn't intend to score, but intended to challenge Nick Zanev. But I think his plant foot hit the ball, and he just completely shanked it. So that one is going to be out for a goal kick. Nicely done by Presley to win it over Wood. Physicality battle. Now he tries to... Woodyard tries to play to Chuka, who came all the way up on the attack. Is somebody defending here? It's going to be... Actually, no, that was McCormick, actually. Sorry, that just came on as a substitute not too long ago. He had yellow cleats, too, so I thought that was Chuck on the attack, but it was McCormick that made a run. Yeah, McCormick sub-Chislett, as I thought would occur. Left-hand side here now to Mabute. He has McCormick at the top of the box. Instead, tries to play a cross over to Redoni. It was hip height, though, and is cleared away. Keohi for Smith. Him and Chuka have been battling it out all game, and Chuka was just barely able to put him off just enough to where Smith had to play across closer to the 6-yard area rather than the top of the 6 or the penalty spot, but the ball went all the way over the frame. So nicely done by Chuka to at least put him off. Crew equalizes. MK are... I hate saying this, but MK are actually fantastic on the offensive end. They have a couple of really dynamic players that can break, and then Twine, also quick, but he's also a very good finisher. So, very good this season, to the detriment of us AFC Wimbledon fans. They are now second in the table as it stands. Rough. The franchise are making their name, making a name for themselves now. Jack Redoni holding it up on the corner flag here. Tries to get a cross off. It's going to be bounces off of him. Wow. That's unlucky. Bella. Hey, you good? Oh, I smell food, dude. I'm so freaking hungry. So after this stream, I'm just going to go eat straight away. And I'm going to upload an analysis video. Sometimes I do my analysis in my stream itself, and then I upload that to YouTube. But I think I'll just do my analysis. I'll just end the stream, maybe make it quick, and I don't know. Okay, so McCormick draws the foul there after the throw-in was won by Hennigan, the initial header. Unfortunately, we don't have an Anthony Hartigan to whip this one in, but it's going to be Luke McCormick this time. Do Scum even have any fans? Yes, they do, but not at their stadium. They only occupy, like, what, 5% of their stadium? What a fucking joke. Anyway, McCormick is going to be playing this one in. Let's see if he can play a good ball in. Back post? Too far over. Yeah, just beyond Hennigan, who's the intended target. Woodyard's going to be playing Marsh. McCormick plays it all the way over, intended for Hennigan. Yeah. The header went off of the left side of his head all the way to the frame, all the way to the goal line, rather. Goal kick. One more change, I assume, or maybe two more. Anthony Hardigan's going to be coming on for George Marsh. And Hardigan, known to play crisp pass. He's sort of like the Andrea Pirlo of AFC Wimbledon. And also plays, you know, a really good ball in the set pieces. So, again, I didn't mind having Marsh over Hardigan for this particular fixture, especially since Rotherham are really good in the air. And so I think we should, you know, prioritize someone that can go up and down the pitch like George Marsh. But in the end, George Marsh has kind of fizzled out the second half. Maybe some tired legs. He's been working very hard. Oh, not a very good clearance there by Nightingale off of the cross. I'm going to go back 10 seconds as the... a lot of times Chuka has won those aerial duels over Smith, but Smith chests it down and plays Rathbone, I think that is, on the overlap. Actually, no, that was... I don't know who that was, but he plays a ground cross to the top of the 6, and Nightingale just had a really poor clearance. He kind of passed it over to Smith. The clearance was like a 8-yard clearance on the ground, and Smith tried to one-time it and over the frame. What is with these fixtures? I mean, 5-0 Ipswich over Doncaster. You've got 4-2 or 4-1 Oxford over Accrington. You have like 5-0 Sunderland over Cheltenham. Mabude is going to twist and turn and split 2 defenders. Presley plays it out wide to Henry Lawrence. Good first touch towards the center. Tries to play to Presley, but it was well intercepted by Hekwe. And now it's going to be a 1v1 situation here. Oh. COYD beats Nightingale for pace on the outside. Tries to play a ground crossover to one of the substitutes there. Ben Wiles, one of Rotherham's own, but it was collected by Zanov. 3-1. Bolton over Charlton. I mean, it is an absolute goal fest all across the board, all across the league right now. So fucking hungry, dude. Yeah, as it stands right now, AFC Wimbledon are 14th. Not good considering that they were, what, 3rd or 4th at one point? Ugh. Woodyard is going to play a ball over to Aaron Presley. Intended for Presley, but Wood heads it away. Throw in now for Wimbledon. A lot of space for Woodyard. He's going to pass it over to... No. Smith is dropping back deep a lot right now, but his pass was picked off by Nightingale, who intercepted it. Now switching over to Mabude. That was good work. It was a ball intended for Luke McCormick, but Edmonds Green got his body in the way early and shielded it out. That ball traveled a good 12 yards from the beginning of Edmund Green's shielding attempt, and McCormick wasn't able to get on the end of that.
No real indication that the Dons are going to muster up any real threat to Rotherham in the closing stages. Still time, of course, as we always say, but...
Yeah, I know. A lot of possession just so that in the end we don't get a chance off.
But at the moment,
the problem, I think...
stoutly and resolutely, and also still creating the majority of the attacking play. And of course, that's ratio...
Pressure off the ball from Hardigan. Ball is switched over to Ogbene. And first cross was blocked by Chuka. Chuka falls to the ground as he tries to track back. Ogbene tries to play a ball down the 6, and the initial clearance was not fully away, and then Ferguson blasted it down to Zanev. Easy parry there by Zanev. No way. Aaron Presley.
With a flailing elbow, Rotherham players furious, Rotherham fans equally incensed, and
So not too many of Rotherham's players are trying to go up and express their frustration, but the goalkeeper came all the way. He's pointing his finger at Presley. Only a yellow card here. And the goalkeeper is furious at the referee, throwing his arms up in frustration. I want to take a look at this again. It was a clearance here by... Yeah, it was a clearance by Choka. No, I mean, I think that's a yellow. I think that's a yellow. I mean, Presley was trying to jockey for position. He was trying to get in, like, turn his body. And his elbow, he didn't flail the elbow, but he had his elbow high as he was trying to turn and jockey for position. I'm taking a look at that one more time. And Ihekwe kind of ducked his head down a little bit, and I think Presley was trying to shrug him off. He was trying to use his forearm. You know, that's an orange card for me. I mean, Presley didn't completely wing it, but he left his arm out, and it did connect. His elbow connected with the center back there. You know, trying to look at this objectively, I think that's a yellow. But I wouldn't be surprised if certain referees gave that a red. I think it could have gone either way. At this point, no. I don't think Wimbledon can reach the playoffs. I think they can firmly cement themselves in mid-table. But I think, you know, part of the reason why AFC Wimbledon showed plenty of promise in the beginning of the season, of course, you know, the academy products, Ayubasal, Jack Rodoni. I just think that other teams didn't really know what to expect from Wimbledon. They expected Wimbledon just to, you know, play three in the back, hoof the ball upfield a lot. But you know, the combination of that as well as the honeymoon phase of having fans back at Plough Lane kind of contributed to it. But I just think that Wimbledon are not really right now. I think they're becoming too predictable. Ogbene making a blistering run. 1, 2, 3 touches, gets the cross off, easily collected by Zena. Yeah, very volatile too, very inconsistent. I'm trying to think of what exactly we could do. Zanev tries to get a clearance, but not fully away. Mbude, his first touch was a poor one, straight up in the air, but he does turn away from his defender. Yeah, dispossessed there by the hyphenated name, Edmonds Green. Double team here off of Ferguson, and now the pass from Barlaser was a poor one to Smith, and now AFC Wimbledon can break here with Presley on the hold up. Presley, why are you turning back? And he easily gets, yeah, Presley took 1, 2, 3 touch as he tried to turn back and find somebody, but his pocket got picked. I think maybe try to play on the overlap. McCormick was trying to play an overlapping run there, just playing first time. Good defending there, but Rodoni, to be fair to Rodoni, yeah, he plays it out for a throw in there. He didn't want to... He had plenty of space to take some space towards our goal, but he didn't want to take that touch, you know, just in case there was somebody trying to get in the way. Let me rewind a little bit to see what AFC Wimbledon could have done better on the counterattack as Barlaser gave it away fairly cheaply. And fuck, I got some technical difficulties here. As Henry Lawrence plays McCormick. McCormick takes a good touch. It was a 3v3. He played Presley first time. Maybe lay it back off. Lay it back off here. Oh, I can't even take a screenshot, not let alone a Giazzo. But he could have laid it back off first time to the center to Luke McCormick, but he takes a couple touches back, and it was easily picked off by Edmonds Green, who followed him all the way. I think it's just that lack of looking over the shoulder and seeing where you could play that first time pass. Presley, I think, is sometimes too reactive. gets the ball to his feet, and he's like, okay, where do I play it now? So that's very disappointing from Aaron Presley. Yeah. At this point, I'm kind of giving up hope in regards to, you know, whether they're going to find a way back into this game or not. Ball played on the right-hand side here. Lofted up. I am also very... I don't think MK Dons are going to get promoted to the Premier League anytime soon. But I think they will get promoted to the Championship within the next... If not this season, probably in the next 2 or 3. So that's something I also fear. Ball given away cheaply here by Rotherham, and now McCormick is on the break. 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. The only support he has is Presley on the left-hand side, and he draws the foul. Nicely done there by McCormick. Yeah, you know, he's breaking with pace there, McCormick, on that left-hand side. Honestly, you know what? I'm going to make a very, very bold claim. I still think we should play 3 up front. 4-3-3, 3-4-3. But dare I say, Henry Lawrence should be a winger. I'm going to get into that in just a second. Henry Lawrence is going to whip the ball into the center, head it away. Rathbone is going to play a heavy ball over to Ben Wiles, and he takes a nice touch towards the center. Left-footed effort, curler. 5-6 yards wide of the frame there as he initially beat Henry Lawrence there. I mean, Ben Wiles, very quick and pacey individual, so I don't really blame Lawrence that much there. But dare I say, Henry Lawrence could play on the wing. Maybe not. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like Henry Lawrence has been our best player. Henry Lawrence and Dapa Mbude have been our 2 best players in terms of, you know, taking a heavy touch around the defender, you know, taking a touch down the line and then down the goal line to try to play a ball down the 6. Or play it towards the center, take a touch towards the center. Henry Lawrence, I mean, more so an outside back and an outside mid, but if Radoni is out of form, if Chislett is out of form, fuck it. Throw Henry Lawrence there. Throw Henry Lawrence up in the right wing position. Just do it. But I still think Henry Lawrence, regardless of where he plays, I think we should keep him in the pitch. I think he's been one of our brightest players. He's been one of our chance creators, or at the very least, he's been putting himself in good areas to lay someone off. Oh, Chalka gets beat. That is one of the most rudimentary, simple, and shitty goals to give up. It was a free kick from about 40 yards out by number 8, Ben Wiles. AFC Wimbledon have their back line firmly held about 24 yards out to play the offside trap. But Daniel Chalka was very slow to react. He waited until about a half second until the ball was played off of Wiles' feet before he ran back. And Smith just easily took a touch, far post, easy. Good night, Wimbledon. Exactly. I don't think there's a better way to phrase that. Daniel Chalka very late on the reaction, and I hate to criticize Daniel Chalka because he has been a very good player for our side today. But that was not it, Chief. Daniel Chalka a bit late to react. And far post finish, just all around poor. AFC Wimbledon first half was decent. Second half all Rotherham. All Rotherham. Sutton United also doing well in League 2. Yeah. I'm disappointed, man.
Ball past the keeper. And that just rubs further salt into the Dons' wounds this evening. Trailing here now at the
Wimbledon give it away here, and now Rotherham are knocking around. Nicely done there from McCormick to try to pick him off. And in the end, it was Woodyard on the secondary pressure to pick off Lindsay, I think it was. First header there by Daniel Chaka. He's going to be on a mission. Tries to set himself up for space. But unfortunately, is going to be a throw in here for Rotherham. It really is. It really is. I mean... Damn. I'm just going to let you know. As soon as this stream ends, I'm just gonna leave. I will post my post-match prediction because right now my mind is just completely set on eating. I want nothing more than to just get food on my stomach and forget about this game, plain and simple. And I will post an analysis video within like an hour or so. But it's just disappointing, really. Yeah, they give it away. Rathbone steers it to the left-hand side here. Henry Lawrence on the defense. Woodyard is there to help defensively. Nicely done there by Hennigan to get the block. What can they do on the offensive end? They've been lacking on the offensive end. Jack Rodoni tries to take it back to his left foot. Rodoni, my man, take it forward. Take a heavy touch down the wing. Be dangerous, man. Come on. He tried to take a touch back down to the center, and it was a slide tackle there by one of the Rotherham players. I mean, that's something that I feel like they've lacked, is the ability to be dangerous. And you know, there have been too many times when Wimbledon are on the right side. They're just gonna, you know, take it back to the center, take a touch back to their left foot, which is fine at times. But Wimbledon have done that 90% of the time. We need someone like Depo Mebude to try to use his pace, or anybody to use pace, to beat their defender out on the wing and then get a cross off or maybe take another heavy touch. I haven't seen a single chance this game. Not a single chance. Not a single moment where AFC Wimbledon took a heavy touch down the goal line and tried to be dangerous. That being said, Chaka playing the ball down to the outside mid has been fine. Chaka tried to find McCormick on the wing. But every single time we take a touch back to the center and play it back to the center mid, back to the center back, or maybe play a square ball down the 18, which that alone is dangerous, but we've been doing that too much. It's too predictable. Jack Rodoni is going to be taking it back to the center with his left foot. Tries to play up again, taking his back over to his left foot, not trusting his 1v1 ability there. I think Jack Rodoni is one of the players that I really think has the potential to take someone on 1v1. He has that in his arsenal, and he hasn't, you know, taken that in stride. Anyway, AFC Wimbledon gave it away here with Woodyard just not on the same page. Not on the same page with Depo Mebude. Mebude thought he was going to... Mebude tried to make a run down the center, and Woodyard played him square, and the ball just went behind him. It's just not good. It's just not... They showed plenty of chemistry in the beginning of the season, but now the chemistry is just off. And, you know, they've been stringing together passes very well when they were down 0-0. But lately, when they have conceded the goal first, that's when they lacked the character. They showed great character when they were down against Bolton, when they were down against Ipswich. But now I see their heads drop, and you know, I see them not stringing passes together very well. Depo Mebude, that being said, has plenty of space to take it upon himself, but unfortunately didn't really have any other support, as you know, he intercepted the ball from the midfield and tried to take it upon himself, which is fine, but unfortunately no support there. Now Rotherham find themselves here with number 19 Keohi, I think, easily shrugged away by Nightingale. I'm going to eat rice and chicken. Typical Brazilian meal. Sometimes I eat rice and chicken, sometimes I eat pasta, sometimes I have a sandwich. Shrimp, sometimes I have sushi. I love Japanese food, by the way. Japanese food is fantastic. I think my favorite types of food, Japanese number 1, Mexican 2, Italian 3. Italian's great, but I feel like Italian food, you know, it's just pizza, spaghetti, that's it, you know. With Mexican food, you have enchiladas, empanadas, burritos, taquitos, tacos. A lot of bread and a lot of tortilla, let's just say, but yeah. Anyway, it's just disappointing. This is probably one of the first times, if not the first time this season, where I've truly been expressed frustration. Because, you know, I typically tend to be a happy-go-lucky, optimistic individual when it comes to, you know, the way I see Wimbledon and their future. But I think their future is starting to look bleak, at least in the short term, in like the next 5-10 fixtures. Starting to look bleak, and we have some issues with the audio commentary. Sri Lankan food, yeah. 5-1 Oxford Accrington. Presley's going to find himself here all alone. See if he can find some support. Gets it to Lawrence. Knocks it back over to Hardigan. Hardigan back over. Mabude top of the box. Maybe he could play it over to Radoni on the outside. Instead plays Presley. Presley is too... Presley's football is too negative. He receives the overlap. He takes a couple, 1 or 2 touches back away from goal. It's good to play the overlap, but try to find somebody at least. Maybe play a backwards pass over to Hardigan. Hardigan's going to have that vision. Hardigan is going to have the vision. He's going to look over to his left, to his right, see who he can play before he even receives that pass from the likes of Presley or Mabude, whoever's holding the ball up. Instead, Presley takes 1-2 touches and then plays a square ball over, or then plays it back to the center back. Too negative, man. Oh my god. At the very least, if you're gonna hold the ball up, for 2, 3, 4 seconds, try to play a square ball, or try to look over your shoulder and play an incisive ball over to someone who's making the run. If you're going to play it back in the direction of our goal, at least play to someone who has the vision that can see someone on the outside. Ugh, so frustrating, man. Presley takes like 3-4 touches and then, so frustrating, man. I'm just gonna eat. Like, at this point, I'm just gonna eat. Thank you guys for watching. Analysis video coming in an hour. Maybe 1 or 2 things that I said within the stream will make my way over to the analysis video, but thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one.